How's it going? And welcome to another video. I'm Grant. In today's video, we're going to be talking more on the subject of worship guitar gear. Today's subject specifically, the guitars. So I've picked out 5 of them that I feel are the most common guitars I see in the CCM praise and worship. And I'm going to do a little playing sample on each one, and we're going to try to answer the age-old question, which guitar is the best? So without further ado, I'll show you what guitars we'll be discussing today, and we'll get right into it. First and foremost, this is probably one of the most sought-after guitars in the praise and worship, the Gretsch Falcon. This one here is a 2004 model. This one has, obviously, the classic Filtertrons and that classic Bixby on it, giving the classic Gretsch vibes, and this guitar plays and sounds and looks fantastic. Y'all will be getting to hear this one in just a few when we go through the playing samples. What else is legendary in worship? Another Gretsch. This one here's an Electromatic Pro Jet. This guitar has many humbuckers in it, Bixby on it. This guitar is a beautiful guitar. I actually just got it recently from the past couple months. This one's a 2007 model Electromatic. This guitar also sounds fantastic, and you'll be getting to hear it in just a second when we go to the playing samples. The next guitar y'all will be getting to hear today is, I would dare say, the most used guitar I've seen in worship music, or in maybe all music. Fender Telecaster. This one here is an 89 made in Japan Fender Telecaster. I actually just got this one a couple weeks ago, and this one gives that awesome tele twang in this bridge pickup. It's nice and warm in the neck and middle position. This is a very versatile guitar, and it sounds fantastic. And you can't talk about famous worship guitars without talking about the most famous and legendary guitar model of all time. This here is a 1987 made in Japan Squier ST362. Basically a reissue of a 62 Strat. This guitar's bone stock in original condition. This guitar is a killer guitar. Sounds great. One of the best feeling necks I've ever felt. Y'all will be getting to hear this one too in just a second when we get into it. And the last guitar on the list for the day is this here Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Les Pauls used to be pretty common in praise and worship back in the 90s, early 2000s. They're not as popular as they used to be in praise and worship, but they still sound pretty cool. This one is stock, got 57 classics in it. Iconic white and gold. This one is also a great sounding and great playing guitar. Alright, so now for the moments y'all have been waiting for, getting to hear what all these guitars sound like. So I've picked chorus and instrumental of House and the Lord by Phil Wickham to play through on each one, and I'm going to have each one soloed up at each time so you can hear what it sounds like in context with the song, get a feel of how it sounds with a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of lead. And pedal-wise, I'm using the Old Faithful setup. I've got the Morning Glory for my overdrive, DD20 for the delay, and then obviously going into the Tone X1, which I've got a little bit of a reverb from that on there, and the Tone Junkie AC30 profile. Without further ado, let's get into it and hear what these things sound like. Alright, now that you guys heard what all these guitars sounded like, let's discuss the results a little bit. Y'all feel free to leave down in the comments what you all felt about them, but go ahead and tell you my thoughts on them. And I feel like it kind of, for the clear winner, kind of depends on what you're playing. Like, I felt the Falcon and the Les Paul felt and performed a little better on the rhythm than the leads because they have more of a fuller sound, which sounds great in rhythm parts and sets in the mix real nice, but with it being such a full on the dynamic and EQ spectrum, there's just not as much room for them to poke out in the mix, especially for leads, where the Strat, Tele, and Duo Jet seem to do a lot better in that. And I feel the one that would take the cake for sticking out in the mix the best would have to be the Tele, with that bright twanginess. But I feel the overall winner, in my opinion, my speakers I'm listening to, I'm going to hand it to the Jet, because I feel like it sits kind of in the middle of all of them. It's not quite as bright as the Strat and the Tele, but it's brighter than the Falcon and the Les Paul, and I feel like it can set in the mix good if you're playing both rhythm and lead, and especially like church I'm at, where I'm kind of both at both times playing rhythm and lead, especially on several Sundays when I'm the only electric guitar player playing. I feel like this one is the best because it sets in the mix better for both of them. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think and what your opinion is, and I'm curious to see what you all think of it. With that, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see in the next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.